Hello, this is Kaluwa, founder of Collision Health and Harmony and creator of the Have It All method. And I'm here to talk to you today about making the shift from doing it all to having it all. So let me go back a little bit first and talk about where did this whole having it all um, come from. And what I found was that when you search have it all or women can have it all that comes back is entries about how you can't have it all. Women can't have it all. You can't possibly, article and article and article about how women can't possibly have it all. And if you've been following me at all, you know that very recently I just did a blog and a video and a whole thing about the word can't and how we use can't to limit ourselves without even realizing it oftentimes. And that I was just working with some kids to do an activity, and the younger age group, the 5 to 7 year old kids, did the activity no problem. The 8 and up kids, as soon as they heard the challenge in it, completely shut down and said, "I can't." Um, Probably what was worst was some of them actually sat down and wouldn't even try. So they gave up before they even had the chance to start. The other ones who went for it did a terrible job because they had already said they can't. They had convinced themselves that they couldn't, and that's exactly what happened. That's what showed up. They weren't able to do it. So in seeing this can't have it all, I guess it really gave me that stubborn push to say, yes, we can. Women can have it all. And to be able to teach that we can get past, whether we put these blocks in ourselves or whether these blocks come from outside of ourselves. It can be an entire culture, a community telling you you can't, and you just accept that. So this is the inspiration behind the Have It All method, and helping us as women lift each other up and going from doing it all, that frazzled, um, unfocused all over the place, exhausted woman, to the woman actually having it all, finding the clarity on what it is you actually want to have and achieving it. Because how can you say you can't have something when you haven't even identified what it is you want to have? So this is the inspiration of the Have It All method. And I'm going to just take a few minutes to talk to you about sort of how it came about me a little bit, and what the foundation of this program actually is, a little bit of the inside scoop on it. So stick with me for a minute. Go ahead and get yourself comfortable, because I believe any kind of meeting should be done maybe with a cup of tea, sitting back, nice, relaxed, and enjoy yourself. There we are. So, who are you? Well, obviously, you know who you are, but specifically, if you're here listening to me ramble on, you are most likely a woman in business or running your business and running a family at the same time. And as this woman, you know that your to-do list is probably about as long as Santa's gift list. Yes. Oh, it's a never-ending chore to finish off that to-do list. A lot of the women I work with feel way spread too thin, and they just feel like they're putting out fires everywhere. They're unfocused and not really clear in a direction as to where they want to go. They're just sort of doing everything as it comes up and really exhausted, wearing out their own energy. And I know this because I'm one of those women. You know, I felt that way, where I was just working so many hours in a day and feeling spread out and all over the place and not really having a goal. it felt like no matter how hard I worked or what, effort I put into everything that I was doing, whether it be my family or my business or anything, that it just seemed to yield the same results. I just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. So that's great, but what do you want? What do you want to change? So if this is you, you are looking to put some clarity in your life, clear direction. In the very beginning, I talked about how can you know if you can't or can have it all if you don't even know what having it all means to you. And sometimes we think we have this idea of what is really important to us. And again, a lot of times it's some of the expectations that have been put on us from either community, outside sources, or even just from ourselves that we think it's supposed to be a certain way. Sometimes we need to go deeper and learn what is our true passion or true goal before we can even be clear on what it is. And sometimes that's why we have that scattered, unfocused goal achievement plan, because we're trying to achieve goals that we actually didn't even really want to be achieving in the first place. So we want to get clear on what our true goals are. Then we want to put some time on our side, right? We want to not feel like there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. Oh, I love that feeling, yes. So getting clear on what it is we truly want, and then learning how to have the time and to really prioritize it so that we can get ahead and be successful. And at the same time, you want to balance, first of all, you. All right. Women tend to put themselves on that back burner. And what is it? You can't help someone unless you're taking care of you. So when that mask strapped down in the airplane, they always very clearly tell you, put yours on first before helping the person next to you. If you're passing out, you can't help anyone else, right? So balancing you, your business, your family, and to actually be fully present for all of it. So you're not hanging out with your family thinking about your to-do list for work, or doing work and thinking about, oh my goodness, I've got to pick up this for my kids, or, so really finding that stability. Learning to identify your subconscious beliefs and fears that are sabotaging your success. So I talked about that can't message and these internal voices, right? We have that inner voice that can be kind of not nice, not kind of, a lot not nice sometimes to us. And you can't do that. You're not good enough for that. And just these really horrible messages that voice can give us sometimes. And because it's inside of us, it's our inner belief, it wins. It dictates our successes and our failures. And it really is the one that's going to drive you ahead or pull you back, so that you're like those kids where you don't even try. So we need to get to the bottom of, okay, what are these beliefs that are deep down inside of us? Again, that might be something we don't even know is there. And learning not only to identify it, but how to change it and move forward and get past it. So you want to master the wellness and mindset to change your life. So what this is not specifically a business training program, okay? I'm not here to help you, sell Facebook ads or develop a marketing strategy, or, there's so many business training programs out there that are going to help you out with that. And I've seen a lot of them, so if you want references, I can absolutely help you. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here for just this kind of quick business program. I'm also not here for a get-rich-quick offer. I wish I was. I wish I could offer that to you, but my suspicion is you're probably a lot like me, and those make you skeptical. So I have not found one of those. What this is a you program. So while this is not a business training program, you're going to find that a lot of your business goals will be wrapped up in this program because your business is part of you. And especially those of you who own your own business, you know that that can be like another child for you, right? So a lot of what you're going to uncover about yourself is going to not only improve your personal life, but also your professional life. This is not a canned plan, everybody do the exact same thing, and you're going to have the exact same results. This is very much an individualized program that everybody will take a little something different from. Well, this is a holistic wellness movement, mindset, self-reflective, discovery, clarifying, goal-setting, supportive, accountability, abundance, success program. In short, this is a boot camp for your mindset, body, and soul. And I say that it's a boot camp because we actually hit it pretty quick and hard. It's a 9-week program to really dive in and do some not only improvement in your health, but diving deep into those mindset issues and anything that might be blocking you. And we do it quickly because what I find is when you give too much time, when you're trying to change mindset and some of these different habits that we have, you leave too much time in between. That fear factor tends to jump in. So we hit this like a boot camp so that we stay ahead of the fear factor and we don't let that guy come in and sabotage our efforts. Oh, hello. That's me. Who am I? I'm Kaluwa. So I told you I'm the founder of Collusion Health and Harmony and creator of this method. But who am I? I am a woman in business, obviously, with a family. I have 2 amazing kids. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son, and I homeschool them. I'm married to an infuriatingly wonderful husband. I'm a daughter, a niece. I'm someone who loves to dance. I enjoy teaching dance to others. I enjoy nature and spending time out on the trail and going for walks. I love to grow my own food when I can. We've recently had a big move, so we've kind of gone from this really big backyard with this huge garden to an apartment with a nice sized patio. So our garden has downscaled a lot, but we'll get back there. And even with that little patio, we've still got some food growing out there. So I'm also somebody who's really passionate about holistic health and wellness, and I really walk the talk. I eat well. I make sure my kids eat well, and we do a lot of things in our daily life for just even our mindset stuff. I don't allow my kids to say can't. We try to live in our discomfort zone, right? Because in your comfort zone, you never really move forward. So we push each other to be in our discomfort zone so that we're always pushing ahead and looking for our next success, but enjoying the process along the way. So that's a little bit about me. And here is my timeline of inspiration in getting to the Have It All method. Because essentially the Have It All method came from my experiences, and it also came from my experiences in coaching other people. But for me personally, it of course started when I was pregnant with that gorgeous girl up there. That's the 2 of them backstage getting ready for his first recital and her one of many. And so when I became pregnant with Nola, I started looking into nutritionally all the different things that I needed to be eating, because all of a sudden it occurred to me that I was responsible for nourishing this other being that was growing inside of me. And I realized maybe not all of the foods were quite as nutrient dense as I needed them to be. Not that I was a bad eater, I just could have been a better eater. And so that's what I started striving for. Not long after this time, my father, sorry, we don't have a good picture in there. With my dad, he had a knee surgery, um, a knee replacement surgery. And when they did the knee replacement, the doctor actually accidentally left a piece of metal in his knee that wasn't supposed to be there. So unfortunately, he developed staph infection. And for 3 years, he fought it. But at about the time my daughter was a year and a half, he did lose the fight, and we lost him. And on top of that, it was the surgery. I from the beginning I had problems with the way it was done. It was, the reason he needed knee replacement was because he was extremely bow-legged, and he owned his own carpentry business, and so he was often lifting heavy things, and all that pressure and weight on his bow legs made his knees sort of go out to the side more and more and more over the years until they were sort of popping out of joint. And this is why he needed the knee replacement surgery. Well, when they put in this new knee, they took this man who was so extremely bow-legged and they put a perfectly straight knee into his leg. And so what ended up happening was he ended up developing hip problems and ankle problems because his hips and ankles had been curving out to the side as well for many, many, many years. And then they wanted to replace those. And then, of course, the staph infection. And they kept having to reopen this knee. And then eventually they wanted to cut off his leg. And it just seemed like it was this ongoing spiral of medical stuff from this mistake of in really correctly implementing the knee surgery. And for me it was just such an awakening as to how I wanted to pursue my healthcare and my family's healthcare I wanted it to be in the most proactive way it possibly could be, so that I wouldn't have to be dependent on any kind of medical intervention, because I felt like it was really flawed. As I began learning more and more about proactive healthcare, alternative medicine, homeopathics, herbs, and taking care of yourself in a very natural way, I was actually in a place where, employment-wise, where I was working in a residential program. I was actually the director of this program for people with mental health issues. And the people living there were experiencing extreme symptoms of their mental health issues. And we had everything from people experiencing bipolar disorders to schizophrenia to, there was quite the range of mental health diagnoses as well as symptoms. And just like anything else, no two people experience anything the same. So we had gotten to this point in the home where it seemed like every time I turned around, somebody was beating my door down, really, just really extremely experiencing the symptoms of their mental health issues. And while I knew I wasn't in a place to to, I'm not the psychologist. I can't play with their medications or anything like that. And I can't give them herbs or homeopathics or things of that nature. What I could do was look at the foods that were coming into the home and the drinks that were coming into the home that we were providing for them, because I could already see in my own life how much of an improvement that made on my own mental clarity and feeling better and less agitated or angry, or just the fuel that you put in yourself truly could clear your mind and help you in feeling better about yourself and the world around you. So I pulled in all my staff and I said, you know what? This is where we're going to go. We're moving away from mental illness and we're moving towards mental wellness. And let's start with some of the foods and the drinks. And one of the really big ones that we came up with was removing caffeine. Well, as you can imagine, I know any coffee drinker would relate to the uproar that everybody living in this home created to the no caffeine, no coffee. Oh, what? But I tell you what, the results of that intervention were so far beyond what I could have imagined. So here I was already believing in the power of food and drink and food is medicine basically. And I wasn't even prepared for the huge shift that everybody would experience. The just everybody's shoulders dropped about 6 inches, I think. People just breathed and relaxed. And I didn't have people, actually, one person, for instance, was running to my door countless times a day, and she felt like, people were chasing her or following her, and she was really just freaking out. And within a couple days of moving caffeine from the house, she hadn't been to my door in hours, like all morning, I think. And it got to lunchtime and I started freaking out. I went looking for her. I said, hey, how are you doing today? What's going on? And she's like, oh, I feel pretty good. Why? And I was blown away. And, when you look at people who are really dealing with something as strong as a paranoia or a schizophrenia, and you can see that, whoa, this could really help that. Think about the mental clarity that you can achieve in your just everyday, these little anxieties or depressions or chronic stress and things like that we would deal with on a day-to-day basis that may be really under the radar and low key, but they're still affecting us over time. And imagine how powerfully we can address that with our food as medicine and different lifestyle adjustments and things. So this was a huge inspiration for me. And you see, as we move down our little timeline to IIN, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, I loved this school. I signed up and I did this program to be a health coach. This program resonated with me in so many ways. I had been a pre-med human biology major and knew that I didn't quite want to go the traditional healthcare route, which, of course, as we talked about, my dad was later reaffirmed there. I was obviously interested in foods and food as medicine, but knew I didn't want to go the traditional dietitian studies route. I was working in mental health and was really fascinated by that, but again, knew I did not want to go that traditional route of, talking to people and picking at their old wounds, right? Peeling the scab off until it's raw, and then, expecting someone to actually like move on with life or be happy after just continuously picking at their raw scabs. So IIN presented me with this model of holistic nutrition and positive psychology and just all of these really wonderful things and tools that could help not only myself, but the people around me to feel amazing and, step into this whole other level of themselves. And I was so inspired. So as I finished up my coaching program there, I moved on down to Collusion. There she is, my own business. And I was so excited and, inspired, and yet I struggled. So, when you're going through coaching school, they say, talk to people about your compelling story. But my story wasn't very compelling. I ate okay, and then I ate better. Not exciting. my because my story had not come yet. It wasn't until I got into business for myself that my story really came about. And I found that I was just all over the place, and I was following everybody's directions, and you have to do this if you want a successful business, and you have to do that, and you have to be, do these things with your family, and you have to, and I had to pull back, and I had to go inward, and I had to figure out what's not working here. And that's where I finally came up with the blocks that I had no idea that these beliefs were deep down inside of me. I remember coming across them, and I just said, whoa, that was there? I had no idea. And that was the biggest piece, was learning what was there so that I could start to change it, because beliefs are nothing but a series of thoughts. And so if you want to change your beliefs, you have to change your thoughts. But if you don't know they're there, how can you change them? So that was the very first piece, and really the beginning of the Have It All method. So the Have It All method is actually laid out in ancient wisdom. It goes back, thousands of years, before Christ, with yoga tradition, actually. The yogis believe that you have chakras inside of your body. And essentially what these chakras are, I almost imagine them as little mini hurricanes, okay? They're these swirling wheels of energy inside of your body. And you have 7 major ones, and they all represent, different parts of your body, as well as different parts of your life and your mindset. And what I really like about doing the Have It All method in this format is it gets you out of that scattered, all over the place, okay, we work on this goal, and then that goal, and then this goal, and then that goal, and sort of that all over the place that we're trying to get away from anyway. And we move up the chakras so that we're constantly building one on top of the other. We're opening it up so the energy can flow through, because the energy flows up through these chakras. And if there's a block, just like if there's a block in your plumbing, the water doesn't go through, right? So we're opening things up to keep the energy moving and improving all of these areas of our lives. And then on top of it, it's occurring in a way that's intuitive for you. This is the way that it's laid out in your body. So at one time, chakras, and maybe even still for many people, chakras may be considered hooey and just this imaginary thing that happens. But I will actually tell you that science is catching up to this yoga ancient tradition, because they're actually starting to now find energy centers inside of the body that correspond to different organs and things. So this is actually starting to be scientifically proven. So not quite such the hooey that it once was believed to be. So just a quick little overview, very, very brief overview of these chakras, because, an ancient tradition could keep us here for the rest of our lives. So we're just going to touch on them. We start down at the very bottom. It's at the tip of the tailbone. That red energy circle is the root chakra, right? So, a tree that doesn't grow roots is going to tip over, yeah? So That's where we begin, at that root chakra. That's our stability, our foundation. Okay. You can't build a house without a foundation. So we begin there. You know, your stability tends to be, your home, your home life. Is your home life safe? Is it secure? Do you have the financial health to support yourself? That's a huge part of your stability. And then the finances actually brings up a whole other beast of mindset issues. A lot of times people have some really deep inner beliefs about money and finance that they don't even know is there. And it's been really projected onto us from the beginning of time. If you go back and look at the shows that you watched as a kid, or even the shows that are on now, the villain or just the undesirable person tends to be the person with a lot of money. Dynasty, Gossip Girl, even the Howls on Gilligan's Island, it just, we've been sort of fed that the person with a lot of money is really just not the person we want to be. And so we have this deep-seated belief that people with money are kind of jerks and we don't want that. And so in our quest to attract, financial abundance, a lot of times we're sending a mixed signal into the world, because at the same time we're saying, oh no, I don't quite want to have a lot of money because I don't want to be that. So this tends to be an area of a lot of uh, deep belief work. We also look at career here. A lot of times we're doing work that we are not really spiritually aligned with, because we believe either it will bring financial abundance, or because we were told it's something we should do, or many, many reasons. And sometimes we think it's something we wanted to do and maybe it wasn't, or maybe it is something we wanted to do but we're not doing it in a way that connects with us. So this is a really big beginning into our clarity, and finding out what lies within us and are we on the right track. And then we move up into the sacral chakra, which is really about our femininity and our nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves. Remember, taking that mask down and putting it on ourselves first? Our creativity unleashes from this area. So we want to have a really good, healthy sacral chakra so that we can be creative in our lives and in our business. Then moving on up to the solar plexus chakra, our personal power. Again, another big area, because we tend to associate power with control, and that's not a healthy definition of power. And so a lot of times we have to get into these deep-seated beliefs about power and redefining our power and our worthiness, actually, our confidence, and feeling like we deserve to have good things and that we deserve to be abundant. Because a lot of us feel like, well, who am I? I don't deserve that. I I just should work and accept what is given to me and not constantly strive for more, because that's for other people. And it's really not. We were all given these gifts to share. And if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not being able to sustain, then you can't share. So this is definitely a huge issue. And I'll give you a little secret here. This was a huge, huge one for me. I actually thought going into this work that it would be my root chakra. I felt like, well, I'm starting a business and everything is really unstable and not grounded or rooted yet. And it's probably my root chakra. But as I got into my solar plexus, I remember chills going all the way up my arms, right into the back of my neck as I started getting into some of this stuff. And I just thought, oh, all right, I've found the area that I am supposed to be working on. So then we move up into the heart, which obviously would be love, yes, but it's unconditional love. And it's also letting go of past hurts. We we're programmed to protect ourselves so that we can succeed as a person and as a human race, right? It's biological programming. And what tends to happen is we hold on to these hurts, and then we don't move forward. We don't want to try new things anymore, right? We don't want to go for it again. Like, I gave all of my heart to this one person and they broke it, so this next person that comes along is only going to get half of my heart. So, and this is not just relationships, but in so many different things, putting ourselves out there and kind of getting slapped on the hand, and we pull back and we don't give ourselves again fully. And while I'm not saying that we should constantly be going out there and getting beat up on, there's that healthy balance of protecting yourself but still going for it. Then we move up into our throat chakra. So really learning that effective communication and relationship, right? Relationship is all about communication, and relationships with those close to us, as well as those in our surrounding community, right? Because everything around us is our community. So really learning to have that communication to enhance those relationships. And then moving up into your third eye area, your intuition, trusting your gut. A lot of times we go outward looking for advice, and yet the answer is inward, and we just have to have that awareness of, well, how we really feel about all these different areas in our life, so that we can trust ourselves to make these decisions and to move forward. And then up into the crown, our connecting with a higher spiritual self, connecting with our community around us, and connecting with our families, with everything around us. And we use different techniques in each and every single one of these chakras. We look at the energy that's happening. One of the things that's really cool about some of the martial arts like Aikido and Hapkido is, instead of so much being blocks and everything that comes at you, you block it. Instead, as they come at you, right, they're coming straight at you, they're this energy. All you do is you just kind of push that energy on its way. And so there's not that hard impact on you. There's not that like strained effort. It's very simple and smooth. On it goes. And so when you're working with that energy, you can just take the power of that energy to propel yourself and keep yourself moving. The health, right? We'll get into that integrative nutrition, that food is medicine. Actually, every one of these chakras has foods that are going to support the health of that chakra. It's a whole being process. And as I talked about, the foods and everything that you're fueling yourself is going to help that mental clarity, so you can get ahead. If you think about when you're not feeling well, right? You're coming down with something and it's just all you can do to get through your day. I just want to get through my day so I can get home and go to bed. Okay. When your foods are dragging you down, that's kind of how you feel on a daily basis. And you can't get past your day to day to aspire to something even further out, to, reach for the stars for yourself. Now, I will tell you, I am not a let's eat bird seed and do CrossFit all day kind of girl. Okay. I am very much about the pleasure principle. So what I do is a lot of food makeovers. Okay. So I take those comfort foods and I like to make them over so that maybe they work for me a little bit better. And enjoy too. You can't completely deprive yourself, because then you're going to not want to do it. And what is the point then? If the all or nothing approach does not work. So I'm definitely very much about balance when it comes to that. So the lifestyle stuff, right? We'll get into different lifestyle techniques for each of these areas, simplifying your life so that you're not feeling scattered and all over the place, unleashing that creativity that I talked about, all different lifestyle techniques that are targeted to each of these chakras, again, to kind of open them up and get that energy flowing inside of them. We use movement. Yes, we do. We're going to use some movement. But it's very, again, the pleasure principle. I like to have fun with it. It's not a no pain, no gain kind of thing. It's actually, the movement is targeting each of those chakra areas to kind of, not to kind of, but to definitely to open it up, get that energy moving and working. And then what we do in the very wise tradition of move your body to clear your mind, we do that movement targeting that chakra, and then we're going to do some work on the inside. We're going to explore inside ourselves so that we can find those inner beliefs, those ones that are down in there that we might not even know about. This is how we're going to discover them and learn all about them. And then with our mindset work and some behavior change, right? Changing our thoughts and all this stuff, we can change those deep beliefs so that we are no longer holding ourselves back with them or sending mixed signals out to everyone around us or to the universe about what we really want. So this is sort of the framework of the Have It All method. So with this, you're going to learn to be focused and grounded, to improve your relationship with money and attract abundance, unleash your creativity, make yourself a priority, embrace your personal power, deserve your dreams. You can have it all. There is absolutely no reason you can't. Master the art of relationships, communicate with precision, learn how to find the answers within you, find connection, boost your health, and so much more. There's these side effects that actually go along with it. Hey, you lose weight, you feel better. You have a little extra spring in your step. It's amazing. Like, you walk around smiling and stuff. It's just, it just kind of all goes along with it. So you're going to make that shift from doing it all, that frazzled all over the place, to having it all. Deep breath. Is it right for you? I don't know that yet. But what I welcome you to do is to go to collusion.com, and on my schedule page, you can complete an application. And so I actually do take applications for this program because I want to make sure that it's a good fit for you and for me in working together. Because honestly, why we don't want to waste each other's time. No, right? And as I've mentioned a few times throughout this talk, that what works for one person doesn't work for another person. So you really want to make sure that this is something that's going to be a good fit for you. And I ask that you complete an application. And I also want to make sure that you're dedicated to it. Like I said, it's a boot camp style program. We're going to go through it pretty hard and pretty quickly. And you have to be committed to giving part of your time every week to this program. If you're willing to do the time and put in the effort, this is going to open up the time. I know everybody says, I don't have time. This is going to open up your time. So going forward, you will put time on your side and you will be able to accomplish the things you want to do. So complete the application, and then right on that same page, you can schedule a clarity huddle. And that's just a 30-minute talk with me to ask any questions you might have, or tell me what it is that you're looking to achieve. What is your goal right now, and to see if this program is a really good fit for helping you do that. So you can have your organic flourless sugarless cake and eat it too, right? And I swear that organic flourless sugarless cake is actually delicious. So you will want to eat it. I really, really, really appreciate you taking time out of your day today and listening to what this program is and what it's all about. It really is. I'm sorry if I've gone on a little too long, but I could, nerd out on this all day because this is truly my passion and what I love to do. And I know how powerful it was for me. And I see all the time, like how I just put something out there. I say, you know what, this is what I want. And then it opens up and I just get it. And it's unbelievable to me and powerful. And I know that you can do that too. So I'm really excited about offering this, and I am, taking applications. We're going to start a group program coming up, and I really hope that you will join me with it. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.